Hello and welcome to Two Hopes Garage. My name's Jace, thank you very much for joining us. In this one, we're back on the Mercedes W126. We've got some more half-inch drive extensions procured, and at long last, we're going to get the transmission dropped out of this with a little bit of assistance. So, that's the plan today. Without any further ado, let's get in amongst it and get the transmission dropped from under the Mercedes. Thank you. So we're down at the bell housing and we're going to work our way around the bolts that attach the transmission to the engine. So the bolts are 17mm. They're meant to be really tight. I've had these with a wee bit of Kroil on them for a bit. I've not got the impact on the go because I've not got much room. Oh, there we go. That's actually a whole lot looser than I was expecting. So we know that one's good to start. Let's give this one a shot. Right, let's get on this bad boy here. What I'm doing is just try to give these... Oh, jeez. That one's away as well. Let's hope they're all like that. We're just going to try and give these a bit of a short, sharp shock. Let's try this one up here. Access, not quite as good. What I'm using actually is I've got a impact socket, single hex drive on a half-inch ratchet handle. So on these, all I've done is get a wee curved syringe and pop a little bit of Kroil. I put a wee bit of Kroil on the bolts and let them soak for a wee while. And the last couple have been pretty tight. So I'm on with the big guns now. I get the very long handled half-inch flex head ratchet on the go now. There you go, you can hear they're a wee bitty tight. There's that one. This one looks interesting, doesn't it? Let's get a wee extension on here. I've got a locking extension bar. Half-inch drive, obviously, and clears us from the lug here. Oh, that one is away. That was sore. Next one is up here. Think what we're going to do with this one, because even with the extension bar, I don't think I'm going to get much travel on it down here. I think we're going to get a whole load of extension bars and take it down to the prop shaft tunnel and have a crack at it from there. Big old bolt. Yeah, you might be able to see we've got a little bit of mayonnaise in this one. So there's obviously been a wee bit of water mixed in with a wee bit of oil. Fair play to Mercedes. The anti-corrosive coating on that bolt has held up well, given what's on it. Slacking this one off. I think what we're going to do is I'll get the lower ones out, pop them back in loosely, just to hold the casing together when we take the upper ones off. They're a lot trickier to get at. Then when we're finally ready to lower the transmission, we just need to take out the lower ones. They're nice and easy to get hold of. Funny, the coating in this one doesn't look to have held up nearly quite as well. The top bolt with the bracket, it's hard to get an extension on with a socket, get the socket on at a decent angle to torque it. I've broken the torque with an offset ring spanner from up top, but that doesn't leave you much room to rotate.
So now that we've got the bracket slightly loose, we've got a socket on it with, how many extensions is down there, Robbo?
3.
So I've got 3 10-inch extensions on the end of a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. There's also a guest mechanic in the house because this is not really a one-man job. So we're now just tweaking that top bolt out. Yeah. I think you're out, just about.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, I've got the bolt and the socket. And there is the top bolt out of the bell housing. The bracket has got a clip with the various vacuum lines, etc. I'm just going to leave that in place for the moment. It is off the transmission. Top bolt out. So I've managed to get the top bolt off. The one at 11 o'clock when looking from the back on the passenger side, if you're right-hand drive. One over here on the driver's side, and we're down to the next one. These ones, actually, once we broke the torque, could just be tweaked off finger tight. They come out really easily considering the age. This one here seems a bit trickier, so Robbo, the guest mechanic, is on the other end of about 3 foot of extensions, and we'll tweak this one out with the ratchet when you're ready. Another hand up top just to keep it steady. I think that might come out like that, Robbo. Just by hand. Let's see. And that one's out. That seems a bit shorter. That's all the bolts round the bell housing or the transmission to the engine out, apart from this one here. This is on the driver's side, if you've got a right-hand drive car. And this is all that's currently connecting the two parts together. So we're going to take that one out and see how we go. All the bolts are out. The starter's sitting there but not bolted to anything, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to lower the transmission a bit. We'll check the lines on the other side and we'll see about moving this back a bit. I think if I take this up, it might come off easier.
There's no gaps in it.
What's happening when I rock that? Anything?
Not a lot. Not seen any kind of gap anywhere, certainly not at the bottom either.
I'll drop it down a wee bit and give it a shuggle. I'm sure there's a prime height for it to get shuggled at.
The top, so I can see a gap in it.
See everything moving. Is that a gap there or no? Oh, is that a gap, Rob?
Where are you looking?
Down here. Oh, maybe not. Might be a tiny one. Just there. I've not got my glasses on, so I can't see that well. It feels slightly gappish, but it might just be a ridge.
It does look like a gap.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a gap.
If I drop, what do you mean, is it cracked?
I mean, is there a crack in the bell housing?
Oh, as in a broken one?
Yeah.
I hope not. Not that I'm aware. It's coming out because it's broken on your side.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's cracked. Unless you're seeing a crack.
Oh, that's something. I don't think it might just be a seam actually. Something comes across. It looks a bit weird.
Coming down. I'll give it a shuggle. Not sure what's shuggling there.
No,
I just need to man up a bit.
I think that's what it is. It's just a...
I don't want to wheak this away from under the transmission. That would be considered a bad thing.
Just get another jack underneath that end, and instead of sort of going up and down, you'd be putting more of a moment on it.
Yeah.
Jack it up.
No, do you know what? I think it's all right. think it's all right, Robbo. Yep. No, I'm quite happy with that. Or casting, you know, like a casting flash.
Yeah.
Everything's disconnected. The block of wood you see is holding the engine roughly in place, so it's been dropping with the transmission, because the transmission still seems pretty solidly attached to the rear of the engine. Everything appears to be disconnected. It just seems to be really tight. So we're going to give it a shiggle and see what happens. I'm in the trolley, so it moves when I go to. No, I've just moved. I'm just shuggling the trolley back and forward there.
This is solid exhaust hanging off the chassis.
It's not having it, is it, at all?
Nope.
Knock it in the head for the night. Do you know what I might do? I might just spray some Easer or something down there, and
Yeah.
or Kroil. I've got to put Kroil down it all and see if that just seeps into it and helps out. It's absolutely solid, isn't it?
I think you might end up having to sort of put a bolt in and try and push it out. But
Yeah, I'm quite a wee bit reluctant to do that. Just
yeah, it's not.
because that's why I'm in this position. Not quite, but you know, like a bolt receptacle cracking.
Yeah.
That's how it remained dead for 7 years. Oh well, I'm further ahead than I was earlier on this evening,
This is
so
true.
you know, it's.
There's nothing holding it anymore but doing.
I'll take progress. I'll jack it
Hopes
back
and
up
dreams.
again. Let's take that away from the engine there, innit?
Tell you what you could do is just overnight, see if it does anything, just leave it. Weight off there, pivoting on, not massive amounts, just enough for it to maybe crack itself over time, you know.
Yeah.
Take the weight off.
Well, what I'll do is I'll put Kroil on it later on
Yeah.
and do that. I just let that sit maybe 10 mil shy of it or
Yeah,
something.
like that, just so it can open
And
up a bit.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Run down in the morning and see if there's a crack at the top of the bell housing.
Yeah. Right, so we're finally starting to get a wee bit of progress made. So I've had the thing up and down. I've blocked the engine to stop, because the engine was moving an awful lot as the transmission came down. So try to keep that reasonably steady with the wooden block that you can see. Possibly not the best manoeuvre, but it seemed to work. Soaked everything in penetrating oil, shuggled it, wiggled it, battered it, raised it up, put it down, went side to side. That engine and that gearbox have been happily married for 34 years, and it seemed like they weren't about to get a divorce. However, I've stepped in and I've managed to get it. So we got a wee bit of movement initially, just getting a screwdriver down here. And I know it's not the best, it's far from ideal. You can see we get a wee bit of movement with getting a screwdriver in there. Now this here has only just opened up. What I did earlier on was I put some penetrating oil into, I think there might be a dowel hole up here and one round on the other side. Put some penetrating oil in there, and that just seems to have freed everything up. It has had penetrating oil sitting on it for a few days, because I've got a feeling if there are dowels, they're corroded. But we've got some movement now, so that's good. I don't know if you can see, just up here there's a bracket. Now there's the Bowden cable going through what looks like a little plastic clip. We've also got a vacuum line going up there. I think I'm going to need to snip that little clip up there just to let stuff move freely as I drop the transmission. But yeah, we'll move it back a wee bit and see how we go. I think we're Nothing too brittle though, that's for sure. There we go. There we go. Oy, there we go. Alright, after 34 years, that transmission is finally separated from that engine. So, I think the next step is to lower it down gently. Well, take it back. That's back and clear. Now lower it down very gently, keeping an eye on that's going up. Not liking going down. Going down looks like falling over. Down. Keep an eye on all our pipes and stuff. Make sure nothing's snagging on the way down. At the moment, just keeping an eye to make sure there's no tension on anything. Move it back a little touch. Unclip those cables. Check the starter as well. It still seems quite solidly mounted up there, so we're happy with that. Oh, perfect, I think. There we go. Little bracket is off. Little clip is off as well. We'll pop that on the bracket. Look around the other side, make sure we're all tickety-boo over here. A wee pipe, that's out the way. Get our light over here. Make sure there's nothing getting stressed. Pipes are looking good. I'll go upstairs and release our Bowden cable. So there we are at long last, after this thing been dead for 7 years because of a cracked transmission casing. I've finally got the transmission off the vehicle. What I'm going to do is I've still got the shift linkage connected up just here. So I'm going to pop a wee screwdriver through that clip there and get that removed because it's just hanging off the back of the transmission. So I'll do that right now. There we go. So I'll take this out, pop that out, and we'll get a couple of things done. We'll get the shift rods cleaned up, sprayed up, made to look nice again, and we're going to get some nice new bushings in here because why wouldn't you? You'd be mad not to. So aye, transmission is out. Marvellous. We'll have a bit of an inspect. I'm going to get these hydraulic lines, we'll get the ends covered up. Starter motor's still sitting there, so that's a good thing. It didn't fall off. And yeah, then we'll get the transmission away for repair. Get it welded up. And in the meantime, get some bits and pieces done in the bay here. So aye, grand. At last, transmission is out. So that was the Mercedes. I don't mind saying there's a few hours of off-camera work put into getting that engine and transmission split. They had been together for 34 years, quite happily, and they were not about to be separated. However, they're separated now. So next up, obviously, one, get the transmission away to get it repaired, welded up, etc., tapped, and into a fit state to go back into the car. A wee bit of a dilemma is, while it's out, and it's been sitting for 7 years with a not entirely full oil pan,
is it still going to be terribly serviceable? So my concern is I put it all back in again and it's not working great, in which case it has to come back out. But it was working fine before it went in. It's not massively high mileage. Do I just replace the neutral safety switch, bushings, etc., and put it back in and hope for the best? And if I'm honest, I think that's the route I'm going to go down. It's probably going to be looking about £1,000 or so at least to get it reconditioned. I've not reconditioned an auto box myself ever. Maybe that's content, and maybe that's content in itself as I learn to recondition a Mercedes-Benz 722.3 transmission. The option I think I'm going to go for is possibly not the most sensible, and it's highly likely I'm going to get it repaired, put in new bushings, etc., and then pop it back in and hope for the best. So we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. If it doesn't work out, I'll be a lot quicker at removing transmissions than I currently am, and they won't be corroded together quite as badly as it was this time round. The other thing was, I've been spending a bit of time underneath that car, and I had a plan for what I was and wasn't going to replace with regards to the suspension. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the car raised up a wee bit higher, and I might do a wee walk round video of what I think the revised plan for the suspension is. Because I've seen a few other wee bits and pieces. So the thought was, the car's been sitting there dead for 7 years. While it's in bits and I'm doing stuff underneath it, I might as well do some of the other bits and pieces. So there's going to be a wee video coming along of that, so hopefully you'll watch that. I'll maybe put the link down there when it comes up. For the meantime, I'll put another couple of Mercedes videos there. So thank you very much for joining us. If you've enjoyed it, press the like button. If you would consider hitting the subscribe button, I would be absolutely thrilled. And I hope to see you again. Thank you. Cheers. Goodbye.